I was working on a very large purple painting. And it was very big. It was actually about, I don't know, 6, 7 feet tall, maybe 10, 12 feet wide. And I actually mixed the purple to be purple, a certain color. And then I wanted it to be just that color on this canvas. The only problem was I was working on it was actually, it was not in a loft, it was a brownstone, but it was in the basement. So it was fairly, the ceilings weren't that large. But it was all right, enough of a wall. It was large enough space, but it had this one light in it, a yellow light. And as I was walking across back and forth, the color kept changing. This purple kept changing from the brown to blue to this. And I was just getting fucking fed up with it, man. That the fact that I worked so hard to get this one color, and this light is like changing it, depending where I'm standing. And it's like a whole different color thing. Every matter where, it turned green, it turned blue, it turned this, it turned brown, mud. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take the light out of the ceiling. I didn't take the light out of the ceiling, but I took a fluorescent light. First time in my life. For some reason I said, fluorescent, because I'd seen a flavor not too before that. I stuck it right in the middle of the fucking canvas, and now I have some kind of color all across. And that's what started all. Bingo. It was the light all along. Ta-da! What's a painting? Paintings reflected light. You wouldn't have a painting unless you had a light in the room. Something to reflect off it, and now I'm controlling it. And that started the whole ball of wax. So I got into the whole light thing. The light became the light, the light became the painting, the light became the thing. I started using light with plastic things. And then one day I kind of looked and said, wait, it's got to be either or. It's got to be the plastic or the light. And by then I already knew it was the light anyway. But I was trying to avoid the light thing by throwing plastic in. So I did the light. And it's gone through all these phases. It's it. It's the source, the wall. It's like the sunlight. It's the source. You know, source of life. Well, I think all artists are romantics. You have to be, because you're an ultimate masochist to begin with, to do what you do. So you have to be romantic about it. You have to be in love with life or something to be that crazy to do the shit you're doing, man, you know? I mean, it's really awful. I was watching Iggy the other night, I just think the poor guy with his hip. Why, at your age, are you still doing this thing, man? You can take a whole other route. And now I found he's doing painting, so that's good. Good for him. But my God, he's got to be in so much agony to go through all that shit for his art. I know I've gone through crap too. Suicide has gone through crap too, a lot of crap. 15, 20 years of crap. And my art's gone through this shit. I showed with 3 of the major galleries in the world. First one was Ivan Karp. He's the guy that discovered Warhol. That was in the 70s, early 70s. Then it disappeared for like 10 years. Then also I have Barbara Gladstone, who then was the biggest deal going on. And then I landed with Jeffrey Deitch. And I never had to go to these galleries. They always came to me. I never had to go. In fact, I took other artists' work around, but I never took my work around, ever. And I never got anywhere. Barbara sold a lot of works. For me, maybe 12 works, believe it or not. Ivan sold 1. And Jeffrey sold 1 big piece for a lot of money. Other than that, that's been it. And then all of a sudden, it's retrospective. So far, nothing's come out of it yet. Maybe nothing will. And now England, you know. So it's getting around lately all of a sudden. I said, I wish this happened 30 years ago when I had some energy. Because who has the energy to make works anymore then? So, but it's happening now for some reason. I used to say, man, maybe 10 years at a time. That was suicide. No, maybe it was 20. No, maybe it was 30. Well, no, hey, man, it might be 40. And it's still not caught up yet. I don't know. See my art, I know. Somebody said a funny thing to me who was working for Jeffrey Deitch, and he got pieces in, sent pieces out. He had to open up the box and look inside and cut the plastic to check out the lights in there. And it looked like corpses inside these boxes. It was really great. I think they should be shown that way, like the guts were hanging out of it. Over there were lights in a box, like in a coffin. And he's saying he's seen all the works. He's seen the works come back. He's for years. And he says to me, because I've been thinking about this, are these old-fashioned, or you know, maybe it's past their time? And I didn't really know, because I said in some ways they're kind of not. And then he says to me, he said, you know, there's the only works in the whole place that have lasted. Not only lasted, but belong further on. They've lived on, you know. They go on ahead. I I still don't know what, but maybe it's true. Maybe there's some quality about it that transcends this particular time. But as you well know, like any lover who's the last one to know his wife just took off with somebody else, I'm only the artist. What do I know? You know? What the hell do I know? I thought when I studied astronomy very young, I actually built a telescope when I was really young. Went to the planetarium and actually built a reflector, a 3-inch or whatever it was. And it involves a lot of math and a lot of science, which I studied early on. I thought I was going to be a physicist. But then it was like I began to realize that I started looking up at through this telescope. It really wasn't about the study of astronomy, it was the color. I was looking at these great, beautiful things, man, nebula, and different colors and constellation. It was the beauty of the heavens and the color. Fuck the math, you know. I mean, I remember the very first time I looked at the moon. It was actually, I could feel the heat on my retina. It was reflected sunlight. I could actually feel, looking through the lens, I could actually feel the heat from the fucking sun off the moon. It was like amazing. There's been stops and starts, of course. And I like to make things on a, sometimes more of a gradual way to work, but every now and then a gallery will come in and, hey, we need 6 of those, or 7 of those, or 8 of those within 6 months. So suddenly I have to do a work a month or 2 works a month, and that gets crazy. So I like to do a sculpture maybe once or twice a year, take my time on it, look at it every day, build on it. The drawings I work on very quickly. I can do 5 or 6 a night, like writing lyrics. And there are things that I do, different rates. I started out as a painter, a collagist. So it's always there. In fact, the light pieces come from all that drawing and all that collages and all that stuff. But yeah, so they're always there. That's always there. But now, more recently, I've been really working on the drawings a lot. Well, I started years ago when I started to write lyrics, and I couldn't write lyrics. So I started to do a drawing first, and then I get into a lyric thing. So very often you find lyrics together with drawings. Because I get a chance to work on these things alone by itself, with a big, nice wall, so I see all the shadows. There's no other lights around, it's total darkness. And there's a whole thing about color and shadows. And I hate to use the word religion, or religious, but I'm not really. I'm just throwing the word in. There's a quality of it, the quality of light and the quality of the shadows, the quality of the shape. It reminds you a lot of the old Catholic paintings, you know, the Caravaggios, maybe Rembrandt, even some of the early Picassos. It's hard to explain what as I'm sitting there alone with these things, what comes to my mind, you know, for me it's like a movie or a video or whatever. I'm sitting there for hours and I'm going through all these trips with a simple piece, you know. The lights,
they communicate what they
yeah, they communicate, they become different colors, the shadows become different, the seat I'm sitting in becomes different. My whole thing of the thing, you know. It's like listening to one sound of music continuously and it just changes on its own. It never changes, but it changes in your mind. I used to like to do that as a kid. I used to love a B flat. For some reason, I used to put a tape on the key and just play it and just sit there for hours on end.
You still love a B flat?
I still love a B flat. I don't do it anymore, but I still love the B flat. For some reason, only the B flat had that quality of transcendence. Don't ask me why. I tried all the others, believe me.